anything interesting, or is it? Yeah, he's starting two other startups. One is for, you can check it out, screen.druglike.com. The site's pretty interesting, but I'm not sure where this project is going to go. And they're doing one more project for trading, which is like an alternative to a Bloomberg terminal. But at first I was worried because the product I was doing was for hospitals, and I did not really want to be associated. But I was like, it's open source. If you want to use it, you can use it.
I'm just thinking of the people who work with these people. They're really life changers. I mean, consider how much a little education can change a human being in this kind of situation. It's God's work, if there is such a thing.
Oh yeah, me and Jen one night were here, and we got almost a master class on sales by some guy who just sold CDs on the street.
I interviewed the largest cocaine dealer in New York, and he taught me a lot of entrepreneurial little tricks he did to become the largest dealer on Wall Street before he got caught.
I should probably take him in here if he comes, because he's like, yeah, man, I'm still hustling CDs and DVDs. And he's like, where's your site? Where's your product? Why haven't you done it? He was super smart. I'm like, dude, you should hold like corporate training seminars where you just take, talk to any company that does sales and offer them training where you take like 5 people, get them on the streets of New Jersey and get them to sell CDs.
Selling the CDs, I have the world's largest collection of Dolby Atmos music. And when I'm meeting VCs and other people in the Valley, that's my business card. I hand them the playlist, and they all have Dolby Atmos systems at home, right? And I found a lot more music than Apple shows them, right? And so they appreciate it. And all of a sudden you're giving them a gift. It cost me something. I spent thousands of hours on building it, but it was mostly for myself. But it's a great business card to hand somebody. Hey, here's the world's largest Dolby Atmos playlist.
It's freaking awesome. I mean, I haven't gotten me a job yet, but
it has gotten me into some things.
That's the greatest gift you can give to somebody, give your kids an awesome library of book collection. They would love it.
I have friends at Dolby now because of this, right? And I have friends in the music industry. I've had them on my shows, audio engineers who do famous shit, right? And they're telling you about how they're mixing these things now, because now we have surround sound systems that are controlled by computers in our homes. And so they're able to distribute a new kind of music to us. And it's fascinating to talk to them, right? Because I'm a user, they're a producer. And we like each other because of that, right? They like to hear the fans' point of view, and we like to hear how it's done, right? Because it's magic. It's my speaker system upgraded this week. It's magic. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and that gets back to the sensory issue. Just using sounds. My kids, they listen to like Aesop's Fables. What is it? The Tortoise and the Hare, and we're using like Maestr's classics with the London Philharmonic Symphony, and it's just going different approaches using like audio, sensory, visual, building crafts, just exploring a story just with all these senses. I mean, it really does.
I know people who listen to music by holding onto a subwoofer while the music is playing, because that's enjoyable to them. They write me on Twitter and tell me this. I like your playlist because it has good bass, right?
Yeah, and the emotion that's stirred up whenever you do listen to a song that brings you back to your teenage years or your college years, or like Ratatouille, where the taste, the flavor brings you back to a time in your childhood. It's just amazing to get the senses going.
It's a time machine, man. Music is like a time machine.
The Rolling Stones just came out today with a brand new mix of something that was recorded, 30 years ago. And it's amazing. It's like, it's a new art form. To me, it's a new performance.
So, Robert, why don't you publish your playlist to all of us?
It's public. Let's see. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I don't hide it.
Yeah, I mean, Napster. That's why it was fun. Discovering music. Right?
Yeah, the problem. Let me see. I know I shared it tonight somewhere.
I heard one artist. His name is BT, and the album is This Binary Universe.
Yeah.
From 2006. He's remastering it now. Actually, one of the tracks was written in C sound, like a really obscure language, and randomly he shows up on Clubhouse, and he's like, I just asked ChatGPT if it could code C sound, and nobody knows how to code in C sound. And then I freaked out because I was hosting the room, and I look up, and I'm like, holy shit, it's BT. He just showed up randomly. Yeah, good audio is underappreciated.
Well, music is going from a recording of performance to a recording of performance and then a changing of that recording with computers. And so it's turned into technology. And that's why I'm hot and bothered by it, because there's a metadata stream that comes down with the music that tells the computers how to lay everything out in 3 dimensions. It's really enjoyable to have that around you. It sounds like a concert. The problem is it's a box, it's like a bubble around you in 3D, and you can't really go between the instruments. It's not really highly precise because it's reliant on the speaker system that you have, and I have a Sonos, top-of-line Sonos, 25 little speakers around me, but it can only put sound a certain number of places around you. If you really are a billionaire, you can buy a speaker array that puts a dome of speakers around you and really lets the computer talk to you in 3 dimensions, right? I can't afford that, so I got a close facsimile, right? It's pretty enjoyable. There's going to be there already is a new kind of spatial audio where if you're in Unity, every polygon you're placing down has a virtualized speaker on it, right? It's true spatial audio. And once we can put instruments down on that digital twin of the world around you, you can have a band where you can walk between the instruments and hear what that sounds like. Like if you're in New Orleans, you can walk through the band. I've done it with a camera, right? And so if you want to have the same experience as going to New Orleans and walking through the band, you got to have this new kind of spatial audio. And that's too expensive for the music industry to create. So my guess is it's going to be generative music that does it first. And people will fall in love with that. Because what's that?
The audio in San Francisco, it's got like 20,000 speakers.
Yeah, I've been inside the Virginia Tech Augmented Reality Building, which is 16,000 speakers. That's about the most I've seen.
It's amazing. You can even hear the subtle things, right? The music comes from below you, above you, everywhere, right? It's amazing.
They took me to a football game in the middle of this building and put me into a HoloLens. The visual looked like a football game. I could look around a 360 video. The audio, if I closed my eyes, I couldn't convince myself I was not at the real football game. It was badass. I mean, it was like being at it. I mean, a lot of us have been to a football game, right? And you have a band across the the stadium, you're hearing that like it's a band across the stadium. It's like, wow, that is so cool. Yeah, that's a little expensive, and it's a big building. I mean, it's 40 yards across, 40 yards across, 40 yards high. It's a cube, big cube. It costs many millions of dollars, I'm sure.
The first surround sound experience for me, the first surround experience was Top Gun. You know, the jets zipping by. You know, you will literally feel like running out and seeing where it goes, right?
Yeah, Atmos, this 3D spatial audio was designed for movie theaters, right? To give you that effect that they could throw things over you and do surround sound. And Dolby Atmos is on many of the movies we're renting now, right? The soundtrack is done in 3D this way. It's quite enjoyable. It's like having a movie theater in my home now. That's the quality of it now, right? So it's pretty special. It's pretty nice.
So audio, it's as if we are all seeing each other and talking. It's right, and then you have the real audio doing this crazy stuff, and this is and we are hearing there. It's as if we are in front of each other, right? It's like crazy, man.
So let's say it's a year from now and you have one of these devices, which is a big if. Would you choose to go through a marching band experience that was generated by AI? Every instrument you're walking through is generated by AI, but it sounds like a college marching band, right? And you can walk up and down between all the instruments and have a really enjoyable experience. Or do you want to go to a Rolling Stones concert? Right? It'll be interesting to see the fight between multiple experiences you're going to be able to have in these glasses or headsets.
I can't wait.
Me either.
So what was the sound that you told me about on YouTube? Like not sound imaging, but the sound quality that they have now that's...
Oh, I was talking about 8D audio for people wearing headphones so that they can experience spatial audio until they get a chance to get a Quest headset or something with a platform that has spatial audio.
Yeah, so I checked that out, and that was something else.
Yeah.
That was really
binaural surround sound is pretty cool. Yeah. So, and it's really showed me there's improvements yet to come just to 2 speakers in your ears in terms of surround sound. Trying to recreate the industry is trying to recreate an IMAX theater around you, right? Because they're like, why would you put a pair of glasses on it unless you can do that?
Well, this is 8D audio, so it's for when you're wearing headphones. Have you had a chance to try like 8 or 12D audio with headphones?
Yeah, I've been around.
That's what she said.
A company gave me augmented reality headphones to wear to Coachella, and I'm standing in front of $2 million worth of audio gear at Coachella, and putting in these Doppler Labs headphones. And the little $250 headphones makes the concert sound better because it gets rid of crowd noise. It lowered the volume for me, which made it more enjoyable. Right, back to the autism argument. And you can turn up the bass. You can put Skrillex in a little church because it has a computer in each ear, and it can do all sorts of processing to do things for you, audio. And what was really interesting, Zan, is when you take them out, reality sound, analog sounded better. The stuff that's coming off the speaker system sounded better. But then you put the headphones in, and the headphones sound better than that. And I did that hundreds of times in one night at a series of concerts. And it fucked my mind every single time I did it. Because I'm like, how is this possible that it sounds better when I take them out, and then it sounds better when I put them in, and then it sounds better when I take them out, and then right? And I did that hundreds of times. I was like, oh, my mind likes both. It likes the analog, i.e. the real world, and it likes this augmented world, where it's digital, but it's better. right? Digital is a little worse. Neil Young showed one studio, right?
How many glasses of wine you had when you did that?
No, I've been around. Neil Young took me into a studio to show analog.
He's not doing the concerts anymore, man. I miss him. He's awesome.
What he was trying to show me, and we listened to Harvest Moon on his analog master tape, and that's in the studio where it was recorded on, in the room, on his best equipment. So it was about the best of the best of the best experience you're ever going to have, because it's analog. Analog is a smooth wave. It sounds nicer than digital. We then listened to the same song on several digital machines. One was at 600 kilohertz per second. That's 600,000 little samples per second. CDs are only 44,000, right? In other words, it's a very high resolution. And even at very, very high resolution, which you can't listen to on any popular service yet, there was a gap. It was very subtle, very hard to hear for me. But, you do A-B, and it's like, yeah, the analog is a little bit better. So there's always going to be a gap, right? And bullshit, right? Your mind likes both.
I recommend doing the trial for Amazon Music, because now they have 24-bit, 48 kilohertz.
I have it. It's bullshit compared to Apple Music's new Dolby Atmos rendering system. Totally blows it away. Like, not even in the same ballpark. Like, it is completely better.
I didn't try the Dolby Atmos, but
you have to get a TV, Apple TV, and run iOS 16.3.1, and it has a mind-fucking blowing rendering system on it on Apple Music. It completely eviscerates Tidal, and Spotify doesn't even try to do this shit, and it completely eviscerates it.
But I use the dongle.
I'm the world's largest collector of Dolby Atmos music. I listen to Dolby Atmos a fuckload, and I study this with the industry. And Apple just completely eviscerated the rest of the industry.
No, but I want to say, with open back headphones, the dongle, the Lightning dongle, it's actually pretty good, because that has a whole sound card built in. It has the whole processing chip, but just for stereo.
I'm talking about multi-channel Dolby Atmos. Completely different than two-channel. Two-channel in my house sounds like a flat piece of shit.
I actually worked on the Dolby system. Okay, the chip design. So 5.1 was 5.1. There's a .1 for a reason. Okay, it's not 5. It's beyond stereo. It's 5.1. There's a reason why they want to capture those frequencies. That's why Dolby is still in business,
Oh, yeah. They just did some magical shit. I mean, you have a group of favorites in your head, 4C.
Box, Moog, and D minor.
Yeah.
Raphael.
Yeah. Anything with anything else to another list. Like I have a list of violins and a list of pianos, right? But symphonies are cool. The symphony list has all this stuff. Yeah. I listen to a lot of classical music, and I don't even like classical music. That's sort of how I defend myself.
I don't know whether you guys know about the Steve Jobs when he was releasing the iPod. He had all hands, and somebody in the audience asked, like, why are you doing music?